Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to be speaking with New York Boulders second baseman Zach Kirtley. Zach, thanks for taking some time out to speak with me tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for taking your time.
Hey, Zach, a big day yesterday in the 18-10 win over the New Jersey Jackals at Palisades Credit Union Park. 3 for 4, home run, 4 RBIs, I think, 5 runs scored. I mean, we talked about before we came on the air, how big of a week it's been for you and the rest of the team. But how good did that feel, putting up those numbers yesterday in a big win? It was a football score there.
That was probably one of the craziest games
Yeah.
I've played in so far in my baseball career. I think we had over 30 hits combined.
Yeah.
We scored a bunch of runs. But it felt good. I've been up until the past couple weeks. I've been struggling a little bit, and like I made a few adjustments, and it's been working out. And I was in some a couple pressure situations yesterday that I haven't been exactly coming through every time in, and it both times yesterday I came through, and it felt good.
Yeah, I mean, crazy game. I mean, I think you get down 3-0 and then, say go up. I mean, you actually take a 10-4 lead. They score 5 runs, 10-9. I mean, it just, and then you're able to, said steadily tack on from there. But, we talked about, I mean, this lineup, I mean, but I wanted to go back to you personally during this 5-game stretch. You guys have won 4 out of 5 games here, 10 for 22, 8 runs scored, 8 RBIs, 3 home runs. I think now overall in the season, hitting 273. 17 runs, I think 21 hits, 12 walks. But there's a game I got to go back to, and I think we talked to after that game was that the June 1st game against Tri-City. You went 2 for 5, 2 runs scored, a homer in that game. It seemed like from that point on, things again, as you said, I mean, you struggled early on, but now it just seems like everything is starting to really come together and you're clicking here, Zach.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just relaxing more at the plate. That's really all it is. I'm just relaxing at the plate and not trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay within myself and hit the ball in the barrel
Yeah,
as best
and I
I
think
can.
you made an excellent point last week is that you're taking the pitches, you're seeing what the pitcher, gives you, a couple times around, and then you're able to catch the pitcher, said on that third pitch, I think is. Can you just talk about that, just being able to execute, in that fashion, Zach?
Yeah, right. Pitch recognition when you're at the plate is almost everything.
Yeah.
You can't really swing at things if you don't know what's coming,
Yeah.
or if you don't recognize what's
Yeah.
coming. So I've been really taking a lot of pride in my pitch recognition and focusing a little more on that so that I can take better swings at better pitches, that will benefit me.
Yeah. Hey, this team, I mean, this offense, I mean, 40 runs in the past 5 games, and you guys are doing it against the best teams, here. I mean, in New Jersey and Sussex County. I mean, you swept Sussex County. I mean, how good is it to see 1 through 9, this offense, what they can do? I mean, talk about, Ray Hernandez, Cavante, I mean, yourself. I mean, it's great to see, said the production from this team. And even you've lost some guys, but some guys that come in, you look like a guy like Gian Martellini. He hits a grand slam home run
Yeah.
last week. I mean, this has got to feel good for you guys. I mean, Jack Sunbury at the top of the lineup, and there are a couple of guys. I think Jack and Cavante are up there in the leaderboard and batting average. I mean, this has got to feel good. Said knowing that, and then you guys are close. Back almost close to the 500 mark here, Zach.
Yeah. We started off the season, a little shaky in the win and loss column, but like you said, it's really fun to see our lineup finally starting to completely come together. Because the first few weeks, we'd have 3 or 4 guys who are really hot, and then 3 or 4 guys who are really cold, and it would just go through every game like that. And now that everybody's has the ball rolling and on the same page. I mean, you saw what happened this past week when everybody's feeling good and feeling normal. I feel like this is normal, for every guy in our lineup to be doing what they're doing right now. This is
Just
like
wondering, Yeah. Certainly heading into that series against Sussex County, knowing what they did to you, a couple of weeks beforehand, sweeping you there. I mean, what the message was, maybe from, from manager TJ Stan, maybe amongst you guys, going into that series. But you guys, again, in that series, you played them, head to head and, said battled, all 9 innings, every game. I mean, can you just talk about that? Because it's not easy to do. I mean, you're talking about the top team, said one of the top teams in the league. But you guys, again, were able to come out there, said and, grab all 3 games there, Zach.
Yeah, honestly, that was huge. Like you said, they had our number at that series. And we battled, but they got the last laugh, 2 out of those 3 games. The first game, they got us pretty good. That happens.
Yeah.
But when they were coming to our place, we were locked in. We were ready to go. We weren't going to let them do that to us again.
Yeah.
We were ready. So it was a lot of fun, and we just took care of business. It was not like, we expected to do that, and that's what happened.
Hey, how special is that? I mean, you had, of course, Todd Frazier, said playing on the playing for the minors, and then, of course, recognizing, they said the 10th anniversary of the first game played, in Boulders history, and at then Provident Bank Park, of course, now Palisades Carnegie Park, to be part of, such a winning tradition, and then to see how much has been accomplished in the 10 years, in Boulders history. And then also part of a new league, said with the Can-Am League, Frontier League merging into the having, said these teams. I mean, this has got to be a lot of fun for you guys, especially for you also, Zach.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a blast. I mean, what more could you ask for, when you're in this situation? I think we're in the best place we possibly could be, with the Boulders. They take care of us. It's a great community. It's a great ballpark, Sean does a great job of taking care of everybody, and it's I think it's perfect with TJ as well.
Yeah,
TJ takes care of the players. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Like there's nothing more that I personally could ask for, and I'm excited to keep going down the road.
Yeah, I had to ask you. I even kidded around with TJ. Before the series started against Sussex County, we didn't see that fiery side of TJ, or at least the fans and, myself covering the team. But yeah, he definitely, said, that Sunday, before, I think on June 13th, can you talk about that? I mean, did that fire you guys up, seeing him going out there and, fighting for you guys and just for the team? I mean, just talk about it. It seems like, that I mean, you talk about a jump start. You said you need some sort of adrenaline rush. Can you talk about that, Zach?
That was awesome to see, and I would be lying if I said that I wasn't surprised. Because TJ, you talk to him, very laid back, very lax. So when we saw that, heck yeah, it got the team fired up. It was honestly, it was awesome to see. Sometimes that's what you need as a squad all together to get something like that. To light a fire.
Yeah.
And then look at the week that we had, following that, So
yeah, it's great to see. You can see it is a tight knit team. You can see that, especially yesterday after all the runs scored, guys high fiving each other, jumping up and down. It seems like this is, I mean, a group said built said not only for this ballpark for Palisades Carnegie Park. I mean, we saw that even on media day how you guys are spraying the ball around the field. I mean, this guy feel good, said again, and now we're getting to summer here, and with the crowds, increasing at Palisades Carnegie Park, as even talked to Tucker about, you want to be playing, said your best baseball at home as well, Zach.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's exactly what we're doing too. We're starting to get into our groove, and it's going to be real exciting. I mean, who knows what's in store this week? We're excited.
Coming up against New Jersey and Sussex County here.
Yeah, this is a huge, this is a huge week for everybody. All 3 of us, Jersey and Sussex. So, we're gonna come in with the same attitude we've had this past week, and try to take care of business and keep rolling from there.
Hey, I have a couple more. I never got to talk to you, say in previous interviews, but I wanted to ask you about, of course, going back to being, drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, 5th round, 2017 Major League Baseball amateur draft. That moment, what that meant to you personally, your family. I mean, you talk about special moments in your life. but when your name is called, said in that that draft, what how you felt at that time, Zach.
Oh man, definitely, one of the most special days in my life. I don't even know if you can describe that feeling in words. It's such
Yeah.
like an out of body, everything you work for in your entire life, came up to that moment at that particular time. And
Yeah.
it was unbelievable. I'm extremely blessed. Big shout out to my parents. I couldn't have done
Hmm.
any of that without them, or, any teammates literally anybody that I've crossed paths with throughout my career. I couldn't have done it without them. So that feeling, there's nothing better, to be rewarded like that on that particular day. It was awesome.
That's great. Well, just talking about your journey here, since you were drafted, I was looking back. You played in the Cape Cod League, I think, for the Orleans Firebirds, New York Penn League, for the State College Spikes, Peoria Chiefs in Single A, I think, and then reached Double A, I think, even with the Springfield Cardinals, and then also played for Palm Beach Cardinals in the Florida State League, and then the Joliet Slammers. So you've gotten to, get a perspective of all different types of leagues. And now, of course, here with the Frontier League in 2021, I'm wondering, when you look back on those times, what those experiences did for you, Zach, and just, what did you learn, just coming, even in your first, playing in that Cape Cod League, what that did for you, personally.
Yeah, I think it really helped me grow. Looking back on it now,
Yeah.
at the time, I was frustrated. I've struggled in my career, and I failed a lot. I mean, a lot more than I would have liked to. I mean, nobody would want to fail as, that much ever.
Yeah.
And it took me a little bit of time to, try to learn from the mistakes that I was making consistently, and try to learn how to grow as a player.
Yeah.
But now look, I take back those memories, and the scenarios that I was in throughout my career, whether it was in the Cape, in college, with the Cardinals, and I try to build from that. And I've been taking a lot of pride in that, to not make those same mistakes that I would make early in my career or whatnot. And I think, it's helped me become a better player than ever.
That's great. That's great. Hey, don't want to forget about St. Mary's College of California. I said, we talked about you're from California out west, coming here, of course, east now. And I had to ask, about your memories and just playing, playing there. What that meant to you. I said when you look back on that those days, Zach.
The glory days. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Not very. That was my only Division I offer. Shout out to Coach Valenzuela, and I showed up not knowing what to expect at all.
Yeah.
And what an experience. It was awesome. We made our first regional ever in school history.
Yeah.
I got to meet some of my best friends. I got to play against some of the best, best college players in the world all the time. It was a blast. And I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a thing.
Hey, you talk about level of competition. What I had to ask you, I said again, Frontier League, didn't happen last year, but this year now you get that merger of the Can-Am and the Frontier League teams. I mean, 2 years ago when they had the All-Star game at Palisades Community Park, got to definitely see the talent level on the Frontier League side at that time. What have your impressions been, so far playing, here in the Frontier League, so for the Boulders, and of course, you haven't seen the teams, out in the Midwest, but now you'll start to see some of the teams, the Quebec, All-Star team come in, and then I think even the Washington Wild things. But there might be another team in there that I'm forgetting. But just just what you've seen so far, Zach.
Right. I think the level of competition is excellent. I don't think it's too far off from guys in affiliate ball playing at the highest levels. I really don't. It's a lot of fun. It's competitive. It's really competitive. Guys aren't out here. It's just have a little fun and just be. Guys are on a mission. Every guy, you can see it in every guy's eyes every single day, and it's awesome. For everybody to have the same mindset, to be playing against each other every single day with that kind of hunger.
I wonder how you adapt, because you said, guys can get signed at any moment. We've already seen with Austin Dennis, Brian Rapp. I'm sure they're going to be more as, the season progresses. Because, to have that team chemistry as the season goes on, I'm wondering how you adapt to that and, sort of, deal with that. I'm just wondering, Zach, just to get your take on that, again, as we move, deeper into this season.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. That's awesome for Dennis and Rapp. And when stuff happens like that, it's good for everybody. It's good for the whole team. It still keeps the team alive in a way when it comes to that realm of of the business. It can happen, like we said, it can happen to anybody. And so you're just waiting for your name to get called one of those days, and stuff like that's awesome to see your teammates go on and do what everybody else is trying to do. It's amazing.
I want to go back to I don't want to forget about you playing second base, because I think this infield, and I can see it, like they're developing that cohesiveness. Can you talk about it? And you're playing second base now, before I was with you as an outfielder, and now you're playing second base, but I'm sure you're getting very acclimated to the position. But can you talk about, of course, first baseman Ray Hernandez, and then you got Jack Sundberg at shortstop, and Tucker Nathan's at third base. But can you talk about this infield? Or you've seen how good it has been turning double plays have been flawless. But just talk about that, and especially how much pride you take in playing the second base position, Zach.
Yeah, for sure. It's great. It's a great backstop behind the pitcher. I mean, we have a great chemistry that we started in day one. With Tucker with being a vet, he controls the infield pretty well, and he does a great job, of making everybody feel comfortable at their positions. He knows what he's seeing, and we just build off that. And with Ray at first, he does a great job, and with Zach at short, I mean,
Zach, I'm sorry.
Yeah, pen
Jack,
praise.
Jack now, of course, is good. I've seen Jack out in left field, but thank you for correcting me. But, Zach, I just talk about that. I mean, it just again, between you guys, I mean that because that's a critical, those two positions are critical. They say when it comes to double plays, stolen bases. Talk about that chemistry that you have with Zach.
Oh, it's amazing. Him being a vet, no kidding, I learned something new every single game. I mean, he's 36. He's seen a lot more baseball than I have. So I've been really trying to soak in, his knowledge and wisdom of the game. And it's been great. He's really makes it a point of communication, which might be one of the most important things across the whole field when it comes to defense. And he does a great job. Yeah. I mean, I'm right behind him. I'm following whatever he thinks should be done, and he does a great job of keeping the middle intact for sure.
Okay, I gotta ask you, playing at Palisades Community Park, playing on the infield, it said what your observations are playing, because every stadium is different, but what Palisades Community Park is been like for you. I had to ask you that.
It's been great. It's a great playing surface. I mean, you can't really ask. There's not too many other fields that I've played with, that are much better. I enjoy it. I don't have any issues.
I was always wondering, because you know what, you're as you know, as an infielder, you're dealing with certain bounces, and especially depending on the weather conditions, and I mean, not to say, I mean, the grounds crew does a outstanding job, and they're probably one of the best in the the league. But I'm just wondering, because you never know, said on a particular day, how the ball again is going to go your way. But that's why I wanted to ask you about that, just as far as with the playing surface there at the ballpark.
No, we're really grateful of the ground crew. They do a great job. When it's been rainy, I think the field has actually done very well in comparison to a lot of the other fields that I've played with. We played one game where it was raining almost the whole game, and
okay,
it was still playable.
But
no, the grounds crew does a great job, and I haven't noticed one single issue or mishap.
That's great. Yeah, because most fields, you get washed out, and that's it. But I think I remember you. I think it might have been against Tri-City a couple of weeks ago. I think that If
Yeah.
you remember, that was the game that, I thought they were going to call it, but they were able to play right through it and, finish it out.
Yeah, we ended up getting
Just
9
remarkable. I was
innings
like,
in.
this is insane. Like when I'm watching, I said a Frontier League, TV, but to see you guys, weathering the conditions and be able to, and you actually scored a bunch of runs, and like it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, it was a blast. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really hard to play baseball in the rain, man. It
Yeah,
is
it
almost
is.
impossible. So
Yeah.
for us to do 9 innings straight of that where it's raining almost the whole game,
Yeah.
it's cool to see.
This might be a tough one, but it just popped up into my head. But you've been playing baseball a long time. What makes the game of baseball so special to play for you? I had to ask you that. I know it might be like long winded, but
Yeah.
you might be able to sum it up.
I don't know, man. There's just some connection that
Yeah.
I had with baseball when I quit playing all of the sports when I was like 7,
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
there is nothing more fun and more exhilarating than baseball for
Yeah.
me. Nothing in this world. So I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put that into words,
Yeah.
but it's just what I want to do. I feel like that's what I meant to do.
Yeah.
I'm meant to be a baseball player. I'm meant to, play for as long as I can, and give it all I got. I want to give my life to this game. So I don't know. I don't know. It makes me feel a way that nothing else ever has.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's definitely good to have a passion, something that you definitely enjoy and thrive in. I'm sure you enjoy those loud knocks when the ball's coming right off your bat.
Yeah, there is nothing
I
better.
can hear it up in the press box.
There's nothing better than squaring up in baseball and hearing the crowd and running the bases, sliding, getting dirty.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's great to hear. I think my final question would be, and again, talking to Tucker, and you're just said, I think you set a great example as well, for younger kids and athletes, and to see the popularity of baseball. I mean, it still continues. I think it's
Awesome.
still alive and well. What your message would be for kids who want to be, one day a Zach Kirtley and want to be playing, baseball, said for the New York Boulders, what your advice would be?
Yeah. My biggest thing is to have fun. There's been times in my career, whether it be professional or, when I'm younger, where it might not be as fun as it could have been, but always have fun in the game because there's too many players that I know, that I personally played with who the game, they felt like they had to play or it felt too businessy. No.
Yeah.
Just to have fun and another big thing is to be taking care of business off the field.
Mm-hmm.
That starts in the classroom. There's other responsibilities besides baseball in your life. So if you can have baseball or if you can have fun in baseball and have your life outside of baseball taken care of, with your responsibilities, your grades, being on time is a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have too many complaints.
Yeah, no, I agree. Being organized, detail oriented, and I think that preparation, as you said, on and off the field, taking care of your body, being mentally sharp. I talked about that with Tucker, the mental game. Everybody says physical, but I think the mental approach to it is just. I mean, especially when you're up at the plate.
Yeah, the mental part of the game is the most important part of the game. That's what I've learned throughout my career. If you're not stepping into the box confident or you're not confident in yourself and your ability, the game is going to be that much harder for you. Yeah. So I think the mental aspect of the game is, and I feel like it's not talked about enough, there's a physical part of the game, but if you can't get your mental, state right on the field and off the field, it's going to be a tough game for you to play.
Yeah, that's what even when I spoke to Orson, Josephina, said over the week, and I asked Orson, especially being a pitcher, how he, goes about preparing, even on, the days, he doesn't pitch, and just, game day preparation. It's so important to have that right frame of mind as you, head into a game because, it's so critical. I mean, if you're out of sync, I mean, it's just I don't think it's gonna go your way. I think
Yeah,
it's
and baseball is not
possibly,
might be the least rewarding sport.
Yeah.
You're failing majority of the time.
Yeah,
So if you're not prepared or you're not ready, it'll find you.
yeah, no, definitely. It's been absolutely again a true honor and privilege, speaking with you. I've enjoyed, I said talking with you beforehand, before games, pre-game and post-game, and looking forward to seeing what you do the rest of the season, and just keep up the great job. I said for the Boulders, the second baseman in the lineup.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and it's an honor for me to be sitting here with you as well. Thank you for taking the time, and I have a blast every time we get a chance to talk.
Thank you.